In the summer of 1553, England stood on the edge of chaos. A dying boy king, a divided nation, and one ambitious family with everything to gain. But what if the Dudleys had won? What if Lady Jane Grey had truly become queen, and the Tudors had been swept aside forever? Today we dive into the alternate history of a world ruled not by Mary or Elizabeth, but by the House of Dudley. Edward VI's death created a power vacuum. The Duke of Northumberland, John Dudley, moved swiftly. He placed his daughter-in-law, Lady Jane Grey, on the throne. In our timeline, Mary Tudor rallied the nation and overthrew Jane within 9 days. But in this alternate world, one thing changes. Mary Tudor never reaches her supporters in East Anglia. She is intercepted, arrested, and taken to the Tower. The Privy Council, seeing no alternative, stays loyal to Jane. And just like that, the Dudleys win. Jane Grey becomes Queen Jane I, the first true queen regnant of England. But make no mistake, the real power sits behind her. John Dudley becomes the architect of a new England, a Protestant England, a Dudley England. Mary Tudor, the rightful heir by Henry VIII's will, becomes the greatest threat to the new regime. Execution is possible but dangerous. Instead, she is quietly imprisoned for life, silenced but not forgotten. Across Europe, Catholic powers rage. Spain vows revenge. Under Queen Jane and the Dudleys, England becomes the most aggressively Protestant nation in Europe. More Calvinist than Elizabeth, more radical than Edward VI. The Book of Common Prayer is rewritten, church ornamentation is removed, Catholicism is driven underground. England becomes a fortress of reform. With Mary removed, Spain sees the Dudleys as usurpers. France, eager to weaken the Habsburgs, embraces the new queen. England aligns with Protestant German princes, trade with Spain collapses, tensions rise. The Anglo-Spanish War begins decades early, long before Elizabeth's Armada. Jane and Guildford were young, children were almost inevitable. Their heirs would create a new royal house, the House of Dudley Grey. This dynasty replaces the Tudors entirely. No Mary I, no Elizabeth I, no Mary Queen of Scots claim, no James VI and I, no union of the crowns. England and Scotland remain separate kingdoms, rivals, not partners. Without Elizabeth, the cultural explosion of the Elizabethan Golden Age never happens. Though Shakespeare as we know him, no flourishing theatre. Culture becomes strict, scholarly, and deeply Protestant. England becomes more like Geneva and less like Renaissance Italy. Dudley monarchy reshapes everything. A harder, more ideological reformation. No Stuart dynasty. No English civil war as we know it. A colder relationship with Scotland. A more bureaucratic, less charismatic monarchy. England becomes a nation defined not by the Tudors, but by the Dudleys. One delayed messenger, one wrong turn on a country road, and the entire future changes. In this alternate timeline, Robert Dudley and Elizabeth Tudor could very plausibly marry. In our timeline, Elizabeth was the daughter of a disgraced queen and a politically precarious figure. Elizabeth is no longer a rival to the throne. Jane Grey is queen and the Dudley line is secure. Elizabeth becomes a valuable ally, not a threat. With his father John Dudley ruling England, Robert becomes a prince in all but name. He's not just a noble, he's part of the ruling dynasty. A marriage to Elizabeth would strengthen the Dudley hold on power and unify Protestant factions. In our timeline, Elizabeth couldn't marry Robert because he was seen as beneath her. His wife's suspicious death tainted his reputation. Courtiers feared he'd become king and dominate her. In this timeline, Robert's rank is elevated. His marriage to Elizabeth is a strategic alliance, not a scandal. His wife Amy Robsart may still die, but Elizabeth, not being queen, faces no constitutional barrier to marrying him. Elizabeth becomes a powerful consort, not a monarch. The Dudley-Tudor alliance unites two major Protestant bloodlines. Their children would be half Dudley, half Tudor, creating a dynastic fusion. This could prevent any Stuart claim and further isolate Catholic factions. Elizabeth, married and politically active, never becomes the Virgin Queen. The court becomes less theatrical, more ideological. Robert Dudley may serve as Lord Protector or military commander, shaping foreign policy. The Elizabethan Golden Age becomes a Dudley-Elizabeth partnership, not a solo reign. So what do you think? Would England have been better under the Dudleys, or did history unfold exactly as it should?